Hi class, welcome to English 270 or Literature for Children. My name is Amber and I am excited to be your faculty member, your instructor for this course during this fall quarter. You can call me Amber and you'll learn a little bit more about me here, but then in our first discussion I'll get into more details, so stay tuned for getting to know one another. This class is entirely online, which means it's self-paced. You choose where you want to learn, what time of day you want to learn, what you want to wear for your learning. You can cozy up with your pajamas in your bed. You can sit by the fire. That is one of the things I just love about online learning. But as someone who personally made the switch from in-person learning to completely online learning to get my bachelor's degree at a time when I was told I didn't have the skills to do it, and who ultimately succeeded, I would love to give you guys my number one success tip for succeeding in an online course, and that is get to know the lay of the land. So I want you to treat this first time that you're in the course like you've been invited into a new home and you're being given a tour. Let's talk through what all of the different rooms entail. If you're watching this video, you're probably on the home page right now, and there are a lot of ways to get here from within Canvas. There are links to the course, but if you go to the dashboard, that's a really easy, simple way to just make sure you're getting to the home page. And my home page includes an embedded Padlet. That's just what the technology is called, but essentially it's a little bit like social media where there's a stream, and the most recent posts are going to appear at the very top. These posts will show up every week, typically Mondays before noon, sometimes a Tuesday if there's a Monday holiday. And there will typically be a welcome video like this one, but shorter. It will include a recap from last week or anything we need to revisit. Maybe I want to compliment something you guys are doing or just point out something especially interesting. We'll make a little bit of connection. I'll try to keep it lighthearted. Just because you're in an online class doesn't mean that you should not benefit from the social engagement and interaction of learning with real humans. I'm a real human, so I like to have the videos as a way for us to feel connected and feel in person together. Sometimes I'll provide a little bit of extra instruction or like pre-lecture for the work that's coming for that new week. We'll keep it short and sweet, and then right below the video there will be a blurb, and it will almost always say, here is the workflow for the week. Do Tuesday, bullet, bullet. Do Thursday, bullet, bullet. Do Sunday, bullet, bullet. And those bullets will have links to the places where you can access the instructions for that task, as well as the places to submit those tasks. So again, if you just go to this post every week, it should ground you. It gives you the human connection, it gives you the list of what's due and when, and then the links to get to the finer details. I bring up Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, not because things will always be due every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, but because if anything is due, it's going to be on those days. And that helps you when you're going throughout the week. If it's Monday and you're like, what about Lit for children? No, it's Monday. There's nothing due today. And it just gives you guys a sense of rhythm, a sense of repetition. It helps you, hopefully, to get into the swing of things. I've fine-tuned how things are assigned and spaced out based on lots of iterations of this course, working with other students who've given input on work going too fast, too slow. So hopefully the work that we've done over the many quarters leading up to you will make this class feel smooth for you. At the very bottom of the post is the ability for you to give a like or a heart and leave a comment. I don't want you to like or heart it like in the same way as social media. I'm not out here looking for likes. But I do love that if you click on that heart, then it tells me how many people are actually navigating to that page and receiving the information. So please get into the habit of, once you check out the update, just heart it so that I know everyone's engaged, everyone's connecting out there. You can leave a comment. They will show up as anonymous unless you sign it. And just keep in mind that everyone in the class can see your comment. So share things that are social, that are engaging. Share a good question that you think others might like to know the answer to. Sometimes a link is broken or you can't open something. That's a great spot to notify me of that. That way everyone knows that I've been made aware. And then for those of you who you are grateful for the week by week, but you want to know what's happening in week 5 and what's this whole course look like, and you're getting to maybe the end of the quarter and you're thinking, I want to know what the last 3 weeks are going to be. There's always going to be a link at the bottom of the weekly updates that says workflows for the entire quarter. If you're someone who will be overwhelmed by that, don't click into it. It's there for you to choose and for you to determine which kind of learner and thinker you are and access the resources that will serve you best. If there's snow, a power outage, something else that causes a shift, the overview of the entire quarter may shift a bit to accommodate you and give you more time to adjust and react to things, but the weekly will stay pretty consistent and pretty solid. I've never had to change the weekly. So really, if you can access the homepage, you have everything you need for the quarter. And then to try to make things even simpler for you, I have embedded that same homepage Padlet into the calendar, which will mean that on Mondays, the update for the week will populate in your to-do list in Canvas, which a lot of people like on the right-hand side of your just main dashboard in Canvas. Along with the weekly updates in your to-do list, I will put all of the Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday deadlines along with whatever is being submitted that night. And everything is just copy-paste. So if you read it in one place, it's going to be the same in another place. It's all integrated and just placed in different locations to, again, meet the needs of lots of diverse users in Canvas who like to maneuver through that space in your own way. All right, then modules. So again, go back to that left-hand side in Canvas. We already talked about home, and then I kind of popped over to the right-hand side, talked to you about the to-do or the calendar. Now modules. If you open those up, you're going to see at the top just some of the information we've already discussed. The quarterly workflow, the weekly. That way, if you wanted to get to it, you could get to it in modules. But underneath that, you're going to see every module for the course. And you'll see that in this course, they're titled Levels and Quests. We have a total of 9 levels and 5 quests for this course. That is the entirety of the coursework. So that's just another way to get the big picture view of what you're going to accomplish this quarter. And we'll talk about this later, but the grading correlates really directly to that number, 9 levels and 5 quests, because you earn your grades based on how many levels and quests you complete. So hold that thought. We'll get into that later. I am going to try to have most of the levels and quests unlocked. There are some, I'm still working out the details, that might stay locked. You'll see them on the menu, but you won't be able to get inside of them. And the reason I leave them locked for a little bit is because I'm going in, making tweaks and improvements, and just trying to take the advice I've been given from previous students and the learning that I'm constantly immersing myself in the field of literature for children to make this a better, more exciting, more mind-opening and illuminating experience for you guys. So if something's locked right now, it will be open soon. In your first level, you'll be asked to read the course syllabus, but getting back to the tour, the syllabus will always be available to you on the left-hand side in Canvas. And you've probably heard this before. That's like a, that just gives you all of the information. People call it a contract for the course. I think it just sets the foundation and the philosophy for the course. It explains the grading, the late policies, the online nature of the course, all of those different things. In the first module, you'll be asked to review the course syllabus. Something that's a little bit unique, I think, about my course syllabus is that it is a live Google document, which if you've used Google Documents before, you know that you can highlight a line item and add a comment. I did it that way in case anyone has a question or a comment about the syllabus. You know, in class, we might sit around and review it together and people might raise their hands. That's valuable too. Not everyone likes to raise their hands. I thought you're online. It might be nice if you have the ability to chime in if you have a question or a comment. And sometimes, based on those comments, I make revisions to the syllabus as well. So I'll keep my eye on that to see if you guys contribute anything there. But like I said, this first week, one of the requirements is to review the syllabus. So make sure that you scan that when you have that opportunity. Back to the menu. Amber's Zoom room. If you want a conference one-on-one, you can hop into my Zoom room and we can meet. I'm available, let's say like afternoons, Monday through Wednesday are probably going to be the most ideal. And then I'm rather flexible on Fridays. There are exceptions to what I just said, but instead of giving you exact hours that only serve a portion of you, I like to just say there's flexibility. I want you guys to reach out and let me know what works for you and we'll find a time. So don't just hop into the Zoom room without letting me know because I'm in class or I'm multitasking in a meeting or working on a project. So make sure to pre-arrange with me via email. But once we set that time up, all you need to do is click on that link over there and you can hop into my Zoom room for that one-on-one contact. I'm also on campus for those of you who are interested. I'm in my office right now in the Applied Arts Building, room 147. I've been gone for summer, so I don't even know my room number right now. Anyway, I'm right next to the fitness center, essentially. And at the end of my hallway, there are these giant sequoias. That's how you can find my space. And for those of you who want to meet in person, I could arrange that as well. We just need to email to set up a time. Okay, rapid fire through the rest of this menu. People. If you want to connect with each other throughout the quarter, just click the people list, see the roster, send a message. Keep those messages fruitful, kind, supportive, encouraging, help each other learn and succeed this quarter. Also, library and tutoring resources. You probably won't lean on that too much for this course, but everyone's different and maybe you really would like to enrich your learning with those resources by getting help with extra research and whatnot. It's there for you. I'm here for you. Let me know how I can help you figure out what resources might be best for you this quarter. And finally, grades. Now, my grade book will look unlike any Canvas grade book you've seen. I'm almost sure of it. So we'll talk about that in just a bit. But before we do, I want to dive into what these videos typically include, which is the schedule for this week. Okay, by Thursday, midnight-ish, I would love to see you guys get into level 1 and make an original post. You're going to review the syllabus like we talked about. You'll also fill out a required books survey. It's not a test. You're not in trouble. I just want to figure out if everyone has what they need to get started this quarter and how I can help. So that's just a survey to find out where I might need to intervene. The level 1 original post is really just an introduction and an answer to some icebreaker questions relevant to the course material and learning we're going to do here. Sunday by midnight, that's September 29th, I'd like you to reply to each other, get to know each other, set a foundation of community, support, collaboration, openness to one another, really set a tone so that this online course can be a place that we feel excited to enter and where we feel like our minds are stimulated and where we can be intriguing to each other as well as being intrigued by the course materials. So I'm hoping that you guys can help out with that and set a really great tone. Also by Sunday, I'd like you to share an original post into level 2. That does require you to read chapter 1 of Russell's text, and I do provide a PDF online of that chapter for those of you who are thinking, oh, but in the survey, I have to tell you that I don't have my book yet. So don't stress, just give that your best effort, and that will be all for this first week's schedule. But since we are talking about deadlines right now, I know a lot of students start to wonder, is there a late policy? Like, what are the rules? What do I do? What about my work schedule? Maybe you have kiddos, maybe you're in another class that has a really stressful assignment coming up. So I say for deadlines that they're by midnight. But what really happens is, as long as the work is there when I log in to review it and account for it, it's on time. I do not check any timestamps. So if you submit at 2:15 a.m., do not feel the need to write me an email to say, oh, I'm so sorry, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes late. It is not late unless I go to review it and it is not there. That said, I am really flexible. It is a false science to assume that everyone's lives for 10 to 12 weeks consistently is going to afford you the ability to do your work by Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, every single week. Stuff happens, comes up. You guys have different obstacles and barriers to your learning, different challenges to overcome. So Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday is a rhythmic, ideal schedule, but it is not a rigid, punitive schedule. If you are going to consistently have trouble with a deadline, reach out to me so we can talk about maybe an adjustment that would fit whatever it is that is going on in your life that is making it difficult for you to align with that rhythm. I want to be your partner in learning, your partner in brainstorming and overcoming the challenges of a demanding course schedule. What I really hope is that by partnering with you, you can stop seeing these courses, especially my course, as a place where you do work and you submit it and you get it back. I want you to learn. And I really have found that by being flexible, supportive, and collaborative with you, not just about the learning materials, but about the learning environment, that students actually walk away taking deep reflection and experiences and revelations from this course. So I want to keep that good work up, and I hope you will join me with that. If you're late here and there, please just send me an email and let me know, like, are you okay? What's your plan to get back on track? That kind of thing. Just stay in communication with me. And now, we'll talk more about all of that. Even I'll reiterate it as you get used to the culture of this course and as you get to know me. But now I want to talk about the grades because I told you they're going to be unique in this class. Okay, first, a lot of students, when they complete level 1, get discouraged because they get this green dot and it says level completed and it has some decimals and the decimals aren't 100%. So I want you to know right away, the first assignment, that's the highest assessment you can get, is level completed. It's just you did it or you didn't do it. It's a place for us to build community and generate a sense of who we are. That's all. So you didn't do anything less than. You have done a wonderful job if you get a green and it says level completed. Grades can be really distracting in a learning environment. I know I've obsessed over the percentages or points or letters that I did or didn't get, and just psychologically, those kinds of systems cue our anxiety, our perfectionism, all of that, and we all display that in just completely different ways. But all of that said, I've worked really hard over the many years to keep fine-tuning this gamified system where you are tasked with levels and quests, and the goal is to complete as many as you can. So don't look at the numbers in the gradebook, look at the words. Does it say that you completed the level, complete or incomplete? The greens are good. That means you completed the level. How do you complete a level? We talk about it in the syllabus, but it primarily comes down to following the instructions. So if you made a mistake and you or if we just had a misunderstanding in what the assignment required, that happens. That's happened to me as a learner. Then you won't earn a complete, but you will earn the opportunity to reboot that level or quest if you so choose. So I'll provide feedback and I will say, hey, you didn't complete the level yet, but here's why I marked it as incomplete, and I would love to see you add in these elements that were in the instructions, resubmit it, and I'll give you that credit for it. So that will be the nature and the culture of our grading. There's also the ability to earn treasure. So incomplete levels and quests, complete levels and quests, and then the earning of treasure, which is when I see that you and every student who's ever taken this course earns treasure at some point. It's when I see that you've done something that is uniquely you, when you've added something to the assignment. And as I start to spin off on this explanation, I want to remind you that you don't have to take deep notes right now. There is a document I will reference every week called Tips for Completing Levels and Quests. If you just study that 2-page document, you will pass and you will succeed in this course to the level that you would like to. You will earn the grade, I believe, that you want to earn. And that really is the point. That's the environment that I want you guys to be working in. So the syllabus will also tell you that you need X amount of levels and X amount of quests and this much treasure to unlock a B and whatnot. The point is, this is all just kind of talk right now. It might not make sense because there's not a picture for you to look at. So what I try to encourage everyone to do is let's get a few weeks in and then see how you feel. Feel free to email me now and tell me if you have a question or a concern. And please give me a chance to get us a few weeks in. Then you can see how the gradebook populates. You can experience my feedback. You can let that settle. And then you'll have more meaningful questions that will help you and help me learn too how I can keep improving the way I deliver this grading system. But I love this system because it has, as I've improved it over the quarters, allowed students to learn and be proud of their work, of the grade that they've earned, etc. And it can be fun too. It just feels good to not nitpick your work down to decimals and to just applaud your work for meeting the expectations of the course. That's what learning really should be for you guys. You should be able to have fun and take things away and make it your own and really get something out of this. I know many of you are probably taking it as a requirement for your degree, and I think you should also leave, if we've done our job well, with the feeling that you really liked that class. It really taught you things about the world around you or about yourself or whatever it is. If it doesn't, that's okay too, but I want you to have a time in this class that's easy enough for you to learn, that all the course stuff would get out of the way and would not distract you from discovering new things. Okay, this video is the longest video you'll get all quarter long. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm excited to get to know all of you and to work with you, and I will see you soon in that first discussion board.